What's up, everybody? Graver here, and today we are going to be working on this, the Xshot Insanity Horrorfire Doomsday. Now, this is going to be a prop slash mod build, or mod guide, I guess you can say. I'm going to break this down. My main focus in this video is there is a lot of detail on this thing, and I remember seeing it. I'm like, oh, there's so much I can do with it. So hopefully this will be a nice showcasing of my detail to painting and all that kind of stuff. But I really want to do something really nice with this. I'm not doing any real performance mods on it. Like, I'm not replacing the spring. Probably will take out the dart post and or the air restrictor, just so if you wanted to put half darts in it, you could, but this is really designed for long darts. But we're going to go to the workbench so you can see all of this, and then I will do an internals of this. But like, just looking at it straight on, there's like so much in detail that, well, you'll probably see better on the workbench, but there's so much detail on this that I'm like, I feel like I can do really good things with this. So that's what I'm hoping will come of this. But enough of that. Let's just go to the workbench. We're going to take a look at this, take a look at the insides, and then I'm going to also go over what I plan to do to this. So hopefully you'll be enjoying this one, and see you in a second. Okay, so here we are at the workbench. Apologize if this is at an odd angle. I got a new cutting mat when Joanne's started going out of business, so it's a much bigger work surface for me. However, because of where the camera is positioned, the center of the mat is now completely off. So it's either I'm going to have to figure out how to reposition the camera or learn how to deal with this. But anyway, here is the Horrorfire Doomsday, and as I said, there's a lot of detail baked into this plastic. Besides, like, you know, you have your Picatinny rail here, the buzz song, like your pump grip. Like, just looking at the shell in and of itself, you have these like iron or hammered metal bars here, a little bit here with like a crack that you could put rust in. The skull in and of itself with some strapping there. The you got bandage there, bandage on the grip, bandage on the pump grip. Like all these like little cracks of metal would be perfect to just add like a little rust detail. On the back stock here, you have this metal that goes around this cutout in the, you know, in the shoulder stock for whatever reason, but you know, and also the wood grain is textured, so this will paint up very, very nicely, I think. And even on the opposite side, same amount of details, very similar. It's basically mirror copied on each side, but I'm really looking forward to how I'm going to paint this up, and I think y'all will really like this as well, or at least, you know, fingers crossed, I hope so. So bear with me. I'm going to unscrew this thing so we can take a look at the internals, and then also, oh, actually, before we do that, here's my overall plan on this. I want this to look like, obviously, it is some kind of like horrific zombie demon slaying apparatus. So everything will be getting a paint recoloring. Obviously the stock, I'm probably going to make a much, not better, but a much more noticeable wood grain. All of these like metal strippings are going to get like a hammered finish, or I'm going to try and do a hammered finish on it, or at least it'd be a lighter silver. The body in and of itself, I might be doing either, I most probably do that gunmetal that I really tend to like, just because I feel like, you know, it would fit, and especially it would have a good contrast with the silver, with all of that. And also down in here, all the cracks and stuff like that, I'm probably going to try and add some rust and dirt effects to it for sure. The saw blade, I'm also going to be doing a silver. Probably wind up plastic dipping this because I mean, it's all foam. So, I mean, I could probably just wind up hand painting it, but I want a plastic dip over it just to like kind of give it that good sealing. And then the ambitious part of this, which is going to be the question on whether or not this will come to fruition or not, is I don't know if, well, one is because the saw blade primes or activates whenever you prime this back like that, you can kind of see it going. I want to have like a blood splatter effect on the saw blade itself while it's revving. And if I can do that, that would be awesome. If not, I'll probably just wind up doing like a spray on it or whatnot, or maybe just like kind of make it look like the saw blades itself have the blood on it, and then just speckled around or something. I'm not 100% sure. My other idea is this. While it would be Fallout inspired, so to speak, just because we have the bright red cylinder here. And I don't want to paint the cylinder just because I think it's a nice standout. I may wind up making this, the body may wind up going almost like a forest green or something, or not a forest green, and like a drab green, drab olive or some kind of thing. That's my friends messaging me. I'm wondering if you're going to pick that up or not. But my alternative paint scheme is going to be doing the base of this in like a darker green with some maybe yellow highlights to make it seem almost like this is an energy weapon. And then again, still keeping all of like the added on metals, like a nice hammered silver or brighter silver or something like that. The skull in and of itself, I have plenty of Warhammer paints for bone, so I'm going to be doing that. Plus there's going to be a wash on everything. The only other thing I want to try is back here in the back of the skull. I don't care about like the actual hollow opening in it, but just like where like these horns are, they have this weird hollowed out kind of cut in plastic. I'm gonna try and fill that in just to kind of give it a more cohesive look. So I'm gonna open this up. We'll take a quick look at the internals of it before I completely and totally strip it out, and then we're gonna start working on this thing. Okay, so here we have the Doomsday opened up. It's your basic like revolver pump action revolver. So here are the internals, and one nice thing is everything will separate out. So like the wrap on the stock, it actually comes off as a separate piece, which will be nice. I don't have to tape anything off now when I'm doing that portion of it. And the rest of the body internally is just snapped together. So you do have to bend back these little clips behind where things snap into place, because that's how you're going to release them. It's very easy with a thin flathead screwdriver. Just please be very careful when you're trying anything like that. But yeah, it looks like it's just the skull that's holding the two sections together like that. So once you remove the skull, the stock should be able to just slide right off. Oh, no, I was mistaken. There is a snap holding the stock and the orange piece, the orange main body together right there. But yeah, looking at the internals, it doesn't look like it's going to be very difficult to put back together once we get to that point. As a note though, take a picture of internals whenever you're working on a blaster, because you never know when you're going to come across something and be like, wait, where does that go? So yeah, it's always a good idea to take a picture of those. And how it works is also with the saw blade. the way it will work is the priming handle actually goes through the saw blade and the your upper portion of the prime in and of itself. I do see here that there is a ratchet piece here. That is definitely going to come out because I hate those ratchets. Some people, when you're putting it back together, want to make sure everything goes back the same way. I've always been one of, if it impedes the performance, I don't like it. And to me, these ratchet pieces always impede performance. Also, I believe this thing does have a slam fire mechanism somewhere in it. And I believe this might be it. I'm not 100% sure. Because with the, in regards to when I was playing around with this beforehand, I did notice when I was trying to rev to get the saw blade really moving, it wasn't just like going back and rotating the cylinder, it was actually going back and firing as well, which was very odd. So I'm going to try and figure out how that works out. If it's this piece right here, which I have a feeling it is, I may wind up actually removing that and just make this single fire instead of slam fire. Because especially from my opinion, it's always been, if it's less than 10 shots, it doesn't need slam fire. Because you're just going to burn through the ammo and then have to reload. And usually anything that has less than 10 rounds or 10 darts and slam fire is a pain in the ass to reload. Hence, a cylinder to reload it. So I'm going to get this all stripped out, and then we're going to start. I'm going to put a base coat of vinyl dye on everything with the exception of this. I will be putting, I'll be doing a plastic dip on it, but I will be removing the red plastic on it because while it is called plastic dip, it doesn't actually like to interact with plastic. It's, go figure. But yeah, so I'm going to start getting the base on these, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to go about the rest of the actual painting. So see you in a moment for an update. Okay, so I'm really bad when it comes to doing progress updates or whatnot during builds because I just get so hyper focused that I just keep going and going and realize, oh wait, content. So this is the majority of everything painted. I did get the stock all done. However, because of that brown paint that worked for me so well, now it takes like 3 or 4 days to off gas. I may have to replace it. I don't know yet. But it takes some time to off gas. So right now it's dry, but it's very tacky. So it's going to be a couple of days before I'm going to be able to do the painting and the washing and all of that on those pieces. I was able to get the plastic dip on the saw blade, and I also did a silver spray paint that I have on the saw blade to hopefully distinguish that from the metal bits that are going to go on here. And I also did that red ring that was on it as well, because I'm like, if it's part of the blade, it should kind of match. So there's that. So this is the main body with the gunmetal on it, and honestly I really kind of like it with the gunmetal. I think it's going to help the silver and the rust colors to really kind of pop on it. So I'm leaving that as is. I've decided the grip is going to have kind of like a rubbery texture to it, even though it's not actually plastic dip. I'm painting this black, and also the cheek rest on the stock is also going to get painted black as well. This is a vinyl dye that went on top of the vinyl dye. The other one's just going to be hand painted Abaddon black because there are little tears in it, so it does make it look like it's not a metal. It looks like it would be a fabric or a rubber piece. The skull in and of itself, I did not fill in the gaps because I didn't have the putty. I didn't want to put this project off. I really wanted to do it. So this is almost going to be kind of a, I'm not going to say a test piece, but this is going to be a proof of concept of how well this can come out, again, in my mind's eye. The wrap that goes across here, I'm going to be trying to mimic a leather texture for it. I will do this is not going to be like the actual bone color. This is just, I put the vinyl dye on it, but then I decided, you know what, I'm going to need a lighter color, so I did an off-white automotive paint that I have, and it was actually the base bone color I used on the chaplain's mask that I had made a while back. So it gives me a better base to work with on here. Now the grip for the stock, this is going to be kind of like a very light gray that will be weathered. So, and I'm probably going to do the same on here as well. So there's going to be different wraps, different metals and textures on this. I'm really thinking in my mind's eye, this is going to look really cool. And I also have plenty of paints that I'm going to be working with, and it's a lot. So I got some Citadel color. A majority of these are Citadel colors. I am also starting to get war paints as well. But we got Steel Legion Drab. I figured this will be a good for the leather texture. Lead Belcher, just because it's a good, it's almost kind of like a good fix in case I kind of screw something up on here, but it's also just off enough to where if I do it, it'll look somewhat different, which I like. I have a bunch of shades and bases. The Abaddon Black, which is going to be mainly just for that one piece on the stock, but in case I need it. We got the Strickland Mud, which is honestly a very nice texture. The Agrax Earthshade, which will help with the rust, and if I want to add like kind of a runny rust effect. And speaking of rust, Warpaint's Dark Rust. We also have Deep Gray, again just to be on the safe side for like little things. That's another Agrax Earth Shader. Tried and True Null Oil, because you know nothing can be done without Null Oil. I also have this Plate Mail Metal. I believe this is what I'm going to be using for the majority of these riveted on like strip pieces. We also have Snakebite Leather, which I think is going to be a nice one on here to help offset the that. We have Morghast Bone along with a Tried and True Wraith Bone. So the Morghast is most probably going to wind up being the horns on the back here, and then the Wraith Bone will be the majority of everything else. We also have Iron Warriors, which isn't that far off of Lead Belcher, but actually that's a much closer one to my the gunmetal that I've been using. We also have another shade, Seraphim Sepia, and again, I think this would be good for if I want like a little bit of rust. And then there's also Gray Sear, which is most probably going to be the base for that wrap, or it might be the Deep Gray. I'm not sure yet. You know, I always play this by ear and see, you know, what looks good, what and where. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm adding any like color to it. You know, outside of like these, like if I'm going to add like a red or a yellow or something to that effect, maybe I might do it here. You know, kind of like it's a power supply for the centerpiece that's got covered up or something. I don't know. I'm going to figure it. I'm going to play it around. If I come up with any additional colors, I will note them in some future progress update. But yeah, that's where it's at now. So I'm going to get started on figuring out what I want to put what and where, and then we'll come back to a bit of an update. Okay, it's been about a week since I last got to actually work on this, and you can see like the giant mess that is now my workbench, but I'm making progress on the detailing portion of things. Just to give you a quick go over of how things are going, the skull so far is, I think, came out pretty damn nice. This is actually complete. I'm not doing anything else with the skull. I had finished it off. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. It doesn't look clean. It doesn't look like, that disgusting, like it's a fresh skull or something, but I think it worked out really nice. And I like how that actually kind of looks like leather. So I'm very happy with how that came out. And so what I'm currently working on is the body in and of itself. The stock, I'm still working on it. I don't know what it is. I'm not liking how the wood grain is really kind of coming about on this. I may wind up actually just putting like 2 or 3 washes on it, and then just like kind of like lightly just brushing off so that it really like seeps into the crevices. Haven't really decided on what I want to do with that. Plus, I also still have the finishing details that I got to put on it. The body in and of itself is coming along very nicely. The one thing I'm very glad with is the plate mail. As I was pouring it out, I'm like, oh, is this going to be dark enough or light enough? And thankfully it is contrasting very well with the like gunmetal that I have on here. So you can see like the 2 different colors, which I'm very happy with. Another little detail that I did is just like this screw, and on that one there's actually 2 because screw ports in one of them. But just adding that on, and then I might do one more coat, just like really make that silver pop and just a little bit more uniform, because I do see streaks here and there. And then once that's in and that's dry, then I'm going to start doing like the rust and the dirt effects. So like all like these things here is where I'm going to like put in rust. And honestly, like this chunk right here at the bottom, I'm just going to make rust as I'm rusting that as well. And also this piece here. My computer sounds like it's about to take off. I really need to get a new one. But anyway, so yeah, this is coming along very, very nicely. I'm very happy with how it is. And also for the front, just because it has the wraps on it, I added just a little bit of the only thing I honestly did here was I just took the where is it? Yeah, the Steel Legion base, and then taking the snakebite leather, just going over that. It really did make a very nice, like kind of dark tan leather. So I'm really happy. And also I don't want everything to be kind of uniform on this. Like the wrap is one thing, but I want the leathers to be a little different as well, just because, it's all post-apocalyptic found crap. So, I think it's coming along very well. there's still a lot of detail and still a lot to go. So I will hopefully have at least one more update before I give you the final reveal on this. So, there is that. Oh, real quick. The saw blade came out wonderfully. I did do the plastic dip on this, and then I hit it with a silver, honestly, just a silver spray paint, and it does look like it took really, really well. I'm gonna add like dirt and grime to it, and again, I want to try that blood splatter effect, but I really don't know how it's going to be, so I may just wind up doing it on the blade itself, and then like kind of flick red onto the blaster or something. So, but yeah, just wanted to show that off because again, it's been a week. I don't remember if I showed it last week or not. So there it is. All right. That's going to be it for this part, and then I will see you next with either final update or the final results. Okay, so the Xshot Horrorfire Doomsday is now complete, and I have to say I'm really happy with how this came out. The weathering and, well, the idea of the paint scheme that I came up with this thing did work out as well as I had hoped, and in some cases even better. The weathering on this came out really nice. I'll have an overhead shot to kind of like showcase this a little bit better while I'm talking about it. But yeah, the post-apocalyptic like molding that was already in here was just begging for someone to do something with it, because the original orange was just so flat. Like you could see all of the stuff, but there was just no life to it. And with it getting all painted up, I hope you all appreciate what I did with it, because it came out way better than I had hoped. Well, or at least in my opinion, it came out really damn good. I do like the, also after clear coating it, I'm also glad everything, you know, it didn't mute anything really, because like the silver that I used for like the sheet metal, or you know, the add-ons to it, came out really well, and it's still very vibrant on it, as opposed to the gunmetal that is the base of everything. I'm really happy with how these straps came out in regards to like the light, the wear and tear and all that stuff that I put on it. The skull came out really good. Like, I've shown this to a couple of friends already, and they say the skull looks really, really good. And even though I didn't get a chance to like fill in the back end open parts of it, I'm still really happy with how it came out. And also just the little details that I found in here that I decided, you know what, I'm going to still do something with it. Like up front on the barrel, like I didn't notice it until after I'd already painted. They had like strips of what I'm safely assuming is leather around it. So I painted those up. In the cheek rest, they had little tears. So what I did was, since I painted it black to almost like mimic kind of like a pleather or rubber cushion, which is also what I did on the back here. But since they had the tears in there, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of paint those a little off-white so it looks like there's like foam underneath it. Yeah, and then just with all of like these like cracks and crevices in here, I just tried to do the rust proper, and even with like some of the shaders, making it run and everything. Like, I'm really, really stoked on how this came out. Like, there was so much detail that went into this, and even just like big chunky areas like this little piece and just this hunk of metal at the bottom. I just said, screw it, you know what? I'm just making that all rusty. So like specifically making those like just a solid like chunk of rusted metal. You know, again, it may not have been what it was supposed to be, but I think it turned out like pretty damn well, or interesting in regards to that. Like, for all I know, this could have been part of like a cheekbone for like the skull or something, but I decided to take it in a different direction. So, but yeah. Oh, and also this thing still does fully function. I have figured out how this stupid Slamfire thing works. It's if you prime really slow, if you prime really slow, it activates Slamfire. So if you're doing it like this, like you hear it, and there you see it. But if you prime really fast, it doesn't Slamfire. So, and you can even see there's still the dart there. So, yeah, really not 100% sure why. And also, I totally forgot to talk about this: the buzzsaw on the front end of this. I'm really happy that I was able to get this painted up the way I wanted. It's very subtle. Basically, the way I did it was I literally just took a spray can, had someone spin the blade and just go and try and get it like that. So, you know, each side's a little different, but honestly, I'm okay with that. But the best part is the underneath is you can see you can kind of see where the viscera spray was, and it works. I think it really works well. Obviously, this would be the hero side, since this is the one that has all of the screw holes in it. So, I mean, like, honestly, I'm really happy with how this came out. I think it looks really good. It would be a great addition to anyone's, like, post-apocalyptic prop kit or whatnot, or just a good art piece for a wall. But again, I'm happy with how it came out, and honestly, that's where I'm going to end it for this video. So, as always, if you enjoy the content we put here on the channel, please throw us a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the blaster and how that came out, or if you have any ideas for something that you would like to see me paint up, leave it down in the comments below. I love reading them all, and plus it will give me ideas for future content as well. So there's that. And oh, don't forget to click that little bell icon. Otherwise, you may not know when me and Arlene are doing our silliness here on the channel. And don't forget also, we do have the P.O. box. I haven't checked in a while. I probably should do that. But it's still there. I'm still paying for it. So if you want to send snail mail, it's a lost art. It's always appreciated. But again, thank you very much for joining me for this video, and I will see you guys next time.